Alright, what's going on, guys? So it's been a while since we've made a video. We've been in the middle of moving for the past six months. We've just been kind of busy. But there are some projects that we've done without filming it. We're trying to get back to that now. So basically what we're going to do is build a rod storage holder thing.
Because leaning them against the wall is not working.
The rod holder that I have now is just not big enough for all the reels and everything else. So her phone's making noise. So we're going to make one out of PVC pipe. It's kind of my go-to around here. So we're going to do that whenever you first see it. It's going to look like a lot. Don't be overwhelmed. It is a lot. It is a lot. But it's not as much as it looks like.
We watched a video of a man making all kinds of stuff for his kayak, and this guy says, this guy is overdoing it with PVC.
I might have overdone it myself. So we watched a couple different videos, kind of blending them all together to make a rod holder that we want. So hope you enjoy it. Alright, so there's a lot of PVC. I may have went just a little bit overboard, not much. Like I said, it's not as much as it really looks like. Right here, this is one stick is 5 foot long of the 1.5 inch PVC. This is 28 2-inch sections of 1.25 inch. We already cut that, and you can get 30 out of 30 2-inch sections out of one of the 5 foot sticks. So we're only using 28 of these. We have 6 of the couplings. This coupling is to make it go to the 1.5 inch pipe. This is going to be for 6 of our larger rods that may not fit an 1.25 inch. Coupling to go from 1.25 inch to the 2 inch, or 1.5 inch, sorry. We have one cross. You have 6 of each of these, one cross, 4 90-degree angles, and then we have 16 1.25 inch T's. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of start with one side and work our way around, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these 1.25 inch pieces of PVC, and you're going to fit it into this elbow. It's a little bit tight. I did cut these at 2 inches long. It's not quite long enough to go all the way to the lip on the inside here, but that's okay because it's tight. We're going to put some glue on it, and I don't want a lot of segments in my product here. So you're also going to need some of this. This is just clear, but it's PVC cement. It's not going to take a whole lot, but you're going to take, the way I'm going to do it to try to stay clean, is I'm just going to put it on the inside. I'm not going to be really hard on this, so I'm not really worried about not getting glue all over the place. So just go ahead and push that in. It's actually pretty far. Once you get that one in, you're going to move on to your first upright. This is dirty. Don't let your PVC be dirty. If it's dirty, wipe it out. Alright, it's a little bit cleaner.
Sorry.
So again, just a little bit of the glue. You don't need a ton. Don't go crazy with it. Alright, so for this one, you're going to make this one stand up. And then just kind of work it to where it looks pretty straight. Okay, so you got to be quick with it. Already screwed up on the first piece. If you look at it flat, you can see this is angling off a little bit. So I'm going to make this one, I'll make this the back. That way you can't really tell too much. So just be kind of careful with it. And I think the way I'm going to do it now is I'm only going to put glue every other joint. Because it's really tight in there. Alright, so this piece is going to go perpendicular to the first one. This is going to be a cross piece. actually not going to cement mine.
It's good enough?
It's good enough. This is plenty of tight enough for what I'm using. I'm not going to worry with actually using the cement for anything.
Because we are screw-ups.
Yeah, so Michelle says it best. I'm a screw-up.
I didn't say you, I said us.
We're screw-ups. We're a family of screw-ups. Alright, so your third piece. It's going to stand back up. And once again, I want all of mine just to be smooth. So these are a little bit shorter than what you actually would want. And then I do have a trusty mallet just to kind of force it on there. I think that's pretty straight-ish. It's good enough. Good enough for government work, as they say, in the business. Alright. Next. Alright, yeah, it looks pretty good. So, first section done. Just make sure that you have your uprights and the ones going across the ground at least mostly straight. And understand, you know, like we're working with limited space here, limited time, things like that. And just be honest, we're human, so it don't gotta be perfect. It's only gonna be holding fishing rods. It's not like anybody's life is really on the line here. Still with you. We did run into a couple little problems, so I'm changing the design just a little bit. But that's the reason we're doing this. Save you time, save you money, save you effort. Had a little bit of a design flaw and didn't really want to keep moving forward with it, so I just went ahead and changed it. Alright, so basically what we were going to do is we was going to have each section just like this. But instead of fighting all the way around to make this a closed-in square with 4 squares inside of it, or however many squares you want to see, what we're going to do is we're going to use all the same pieces. We're not going to need as many. Alright, so basically what I was saying is instead of having each piece butt up exactly like this right here and have to force these inner pieces all together with the outside joints, we're going to leave these open. It's going to look like it's closed in, but you're going to have one side that has your cross on it, and the rest are simply just going to go around it, and they're not actually going to be attached to it. I don't see where we actually need that. Probably could have done it if I would have planned it out a little bit better, but we kind of just jumped into this thing because that's what I do. So, as I said, these center pieces here and here do not have couplings. So we do have a couple extra left over. Not really sure. My math wasn't right apparently. So you don't need that. You don't need 28. Or yeah, you need. If you do it the same way I did, you need 21. So that saves you some PVC for another project. Now, what I got to do is I got to figure out which 6 do I want to have the 2-inch coupling, and which ones do I want for just regular poles. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe not the back ones, because I know the back ones are going to lean. Actually, I probably will use the back ones from a bigger rods and reels, just because I know those reels are a little bit bulkier, so they'll need to be away from the wall. And if there's an angle at the pole, it's going to be fine. It'll just kind of limit where I'm going to put this. So in order to get these couplings here to work onto here, it just slides on. But first what I got to do is you can't just put it on here. You still have to slide in one of our pieces. So you're going to need them anyways. That might be, my math was right.
Maybe.
Alright, so just go ahead and identify which ones you want to be your 2-inch or 1.5-inch pipes. Give them a couple little taps. Once you get the sleeve in, coupling. Like I said, I want smooth edges. I don't want any gaps, you know, like this in my project to go from one pipe to another. I just want it to be nice and clean. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut mine at 4 inches long. That way all of these are the same. Once I have all these cut, I'll measure, and then I'll be able to cut the new stick of 1.25 inches to finish this thing off. Alright, so I forgot to turn the camera on. Cut these 1.5 inch diameter pipes in 4-inch sections. I've already got a couple hammered in, so let's just finish that. Alright, so this is the back two, so we already know that these are crooked. The rest look relatively straight, at least, you know, at first glance. We'll really be able to tell once this gets stood up. So now, I've got 6 more that I need to cut. These 6 are all going to be 1.25 inch PVC pipe. So what I want to do is, I really just want to see how tall from the inside up. And from the very inside of this one. Alright, so we've got our pieces cut. This is the 1.25 inch. We cut it at 7 1/4 inches long. That way we can try to make it as close to the same height as these as we can. Altogether, we did use basically 2 sticks, so 10 feet of the 1.25 inch to build this. And it used every bit of it. So if you look at like this cut here, this was the end of the pipe, and didn't really have a lot of room to hold on to it, so we had to improvise. So it's not perfect, but it's going to be pretty close. Because you've got things like this, some little burrs, even on the ones that you did cut good, there's going to be some little burrs there. Make sure that you use a file and just bump those off, just to kind of help everything set a little bit better. Making some final touch-ups here. These we know we're going to be leaning back. The rest look pretty good. Alright, so now it's my favorite time. It's time to paint. Alright guys, so I'm outside now. I just got done painting the rod holder, and I was using some paint that I just had left over in the shop. wound up not having quite enough to put as many coats on as I'd like, but overall it looks pretty good. One thing that I will tell you, just my recommendation from doing this project now, would be that if you're going to do this and you're going to paint it, which you should paint it. It doesn't look good, doesn't look clean unless you paint it, because you got the print on the actual pipe, so like the barcodes, the stamps of, you know, Charlotte Pipe Company or whatever pipe companies around you. All that print's going to be on there. So I used this Rust-Oleum blue here. It's a brilliant blue. It wound up not being dark enough with just, you know, 2 coats or so to cover up the barcodes and the print that's on the pipe. So, you know, hindsight being 2020, if I was to do this again, I would probably use either black or a darker blue, something with a little bit more primer in it, something like that, just to not have to use so much paint. But overall it looks pretty good. I'll show it to you now, and there's going to be a couple spots where I'm going to go through and touch it up once I get some more paint. All right, so this is the rod holder. Like I said, I'm not worried about the lack of paint on the inside. It is what it is there. But like whenever you start looking at it, you know, you can tell there's a couple spots specifically, like right here on this one. You can still see the print. You can still see it on this one back here. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, just make sure that you like the video. If you like this type of video, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be doing some more DIY projects in the near future, just with some stuff that we have laying around the house to keep us busy during the lockdown period that we're on right now. So like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.